And we're back with Christopher Cook from Alliance Insurance Services. He's answering all your homeowners insurance storm questions. He's answering your car insurance questions. This person is asking, if a water line breaks and floods the inside of your house, does your homeowners insurance cover that damage and those repairs?
Yes, that is covered. Water damage inside your home is covered on your homeowner's insurance policy, absolutely.
All right, and we've always watched those like mayhem commercials and stuff like that. The hot water heater like blows up out of the house and whatever else. Everything is covered when something like that happens?
Yes. Flood, earthquake, acts of war, nuclear event. Those are the main exclusions on a homeowner's policy. So if mayhem does occur, it's covered.
Okay. This person says, I got hit with the storm Michael a few years ago. My basement was damaged by water coming in under the doors and coming up through the floors, and I was not covered. Can you explain why?
Yeah, it's a very difficult question to answer with 100% accuracy for sure. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the contracts across the state have been updated by the insurance carriers. Now, to have that coverage, it's an endorsement that costs money, so your agent or yourself would have to have added that policy on. But certainly most seepage claims were not paid, and I don't remember, I think Michael was in 16, I may get that wrong. And then the specific company or what policy you had could have been the reason.
All right, so that would have been seepage, right? Not anything else. That's what that would have been called when it comes up through the floor like that.
More often, yeah. I don't know what else would have caused that damage. That's correct.
And what you're saying is, it used to be that no insurance company would cover that. Now there are starting to write some riders for that, some special policies for that. But you have to ask about that.
Yes, and it's an add-on to your basic homeowners insurance policy that many of our companies across the state offer, and most agents do try to get their carrier or their customers rather to buy those endorsements. But you would have to have added that coverage onto your policy.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. If for some reason people have some kind of claim that they need to make over the next couple of days, what is your advice on how they should begin and what they should do immediately when they see damage?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, and I realize not everybody has a cell phone, but cell phones became such a popular tool, and they do so many things for us. Photographs are going to be critical for you, documentation, and then securing your property, possibly doing some of the work yourself to make sure further damage doesn't occur. High winds, typically we're going to have down trees, down limbs. If we can safely, key emphasis on the word safely, get that tree off of the home or get those limbs away from the house and get the possible leak tarped, that would be great. And I realize not all of us can do that, but anything you can do to prevent further damage, that would be helpful in your claim scenario. The reality is a lot of the contractors out there are understaffed. They may not have the manpower to get to you as quickly as you would like, and those contractors are going to be the ones that are going to be most helpful in getting the work done. So anything you can do to yourself to prevent further damage, that would be great.
All right, and just very quickly, inflation is targeting insurance as well, so we probably need to see if we're covered for the amount of the house it would be to get it back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, it might be a little bit late now, but that's a conversation you and I have quite often. If you built your house 3 years ago, what it would take to build that house today would shock you. You would just be astonished because you just got over that building process and you're thinking, no, it would only take X, whatever I paid, but it's changed.
All right, so that means that you need to check your policy and you need to call your agent, and maybe this weekend would be a good time to do that. All right, Christopher Cook, thank you so much for your help.